समम पश्यन् हि सर्वत्र समवस्थितम ईश्वरम न हिनस्ति आत्मा आत्मनम ततो याति पराम गतिम. Hello friends, this is the 28th shlok of the 13th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, and today we will understand this shlok in detail. So let's first go over its meaning. So the shlok says, Samam pashyan hi sarvatra, which means sees the same. Samavasthitam Ishwaram, which means equally situated God. Na hinastya atmana atmanam, which means does not degrade himself in the Atma. Tato yati param gatyam, which means thus finds the supreme destination. So in this shlok, Sri Krishna is saying that the one who sees God to be situated in the same manner in all the beings does not degrade himself in Atma and finds the supreme destination. Now in the 26th shlok of this same chapter, we understood that our default way of looking at this world is to think that this world is independent from us. So we think that what we observe over here is happening independently from us. Now when this happens, then what happens is that we start to think that we are separate from this universe. And when we think that we are separate from this universe, then we degrade ourselves. We limit ourselves. Then what we do is we limit ourselves to our tiny ego, and this tiny ego is a degradation of this self, because this tiny ego actually is powerless to the whims of the world. The world is huge and this ego is very tiny. So this ego has actually no existence in front of this entire universe. And this is when we are degrading ourselves. But this is the mistake that we do. Now, if on the other hand, a person is able to attain the realization that the external world is not independent from him, but is dependent on him, because he is the observer. There is a divine observer which is sitting inside him, and this entire creation is dependent on that observer. And that observer is the same observer which is present in all the beings. And so that observer is the supreme being. Then he gets a realization, then he understands who he really is. He then understands that he is not this tiny ego, he is not this animal, because if you identify with your ego, then the life that you're living is the life of an animal. So he realizes that he is not an animal, he is not the body, he is Atma, and Atma is Brahma. Brahma is the supreme, the absolute, the highest entity. That is what he is. So his identity is that. When he remains identified with this Atma, then he becomes one with Brahma, and then he does not degrade himself. He doesn't really think that he is the tiny ego. He doesn't think that he is this animal who is separate from this entire creation. He is able to sustain his divinity. He is able to maintain his divinity, that he is the divine being who is the divine observer, who is the one on which this entire world depends, because when he observes, only then something manifests. If he does not observe it, then it does not manifest. And if he is able to realize that, then he will move ahead and he will obtain the union with the supreme self who is present in all beings, and that is basically regaining your divinity. So that's why Shri Krishna is saying that he does not degrade himself in Atma. He does not degrade himself to just thinking that he is an animal who is separate from this universe. He then realizes that he is one with this universe, and he is the one who is the source of this universe, basically, because there is a divine observer that he is, and through that divine observer this entire creation is manifesting. That's what he realizes. So that was the message of this shlok. I hope that I have explained this shlok well to you. With that, I'll close this video. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.